basket after Khloe calls herself an N-word lover and Kim is concerned over her baby's skin tone matching the stroller. All the lies about the British royal family, all the claims, all the desperate desire to bring down the British monarchy was all for this? So she's looked up to Khloe and Kim and Kourtney.
Hollywood loves a clean narrative. The Kardashians, Kris, Kim, Khloe, Kourtney, Kendall, Kylie represent the apex of brand engineering, where every relationship is weighed, every cameo is currency, and every party serves a purpose. Meghan Markle represents another power archetype, royalty-adjacent celebrity with a global audience and a high-control media approach. Put those brands side by side and you get friction by default. So when whispers suggested Meghan aimed for a meeting, a cameo, or simply proximity, and supposedly hit a gate instead, the story clicked. It felt like the clash of two empires. Names matter in a story like this. Kris Jenner isn't just a momager, she's the showrunner of a cultural juggernaut. Meghan isn't just a former actress, she's a headline generator with a track record of high-profile media plays, Netflix projects, marquee interviews, a podcast era, and most recently, consumer branding. If you were to storyboard the rumor, the beats land with tabloid precision. A black SUV, a confident arrival, a firm not on the list. Clear, visual, viral.
Hosted Kylie's family party. Meghan sent all the Kardashians press boxes hoping they would share it with their many followers. That never happened. Someone from the family regifted the as ever crap. Khloe then took a pic of it. Meghan sees this hours later and jumps at the chance to be connected to a Kardashian.
Always looking, which was not royalty, it was not being an actual influencer in the world. She really just wants to be a Kardashian.
Kris runs a fortress where access is a strategy. She greenlights relationships that deliver compounding returns, shared audiences, click-throughs, shared plot lines across shows, and products that move. She protects scarcity so that when the family's platforms amplify someone, it feels like a coronation, not a cameo.
What is this? Guys, I feel like I'm a very accepting person. Truly, I want to like something about her. I'm searching for something to like about her. And it's so hard because she suffers from such a rare disorder of being unable to just be a human.
When one brand thrives on raw-ish, meme-ready exposure, and the other prefers curated narrative arcs, there's a mismatch. If the rumor of a denied entry resonated, it's because people can imagine Kris deciding that an unpredictable collaboration is worse than no collaboration at all. Guest lists are more than names on a clipboard. They're a map of who trusts whom.
Is having serious problems trying to get people on her show because she wants to scratch the the remaining 8 episodes she did last year, because she wants to have all these famous people. Yeah.
A family party in Hidden Hills isn't just a party. It's an inner circle moment where photos, cross posts, and future storylines are born. In those environments, surprise arrivals read as presumptuous. Security isn't trained to improvise. They're trained to guard the perimeter against misunderstandings that turn into headlines. So when the not on the list storyline took off, it wasn't just the schadenfreude. It was the way the detail aligned with LA's real rules. Relationships are pre-cleared. Synergy is pre-negotiated. And the door, the literal one, enforces a kind of social NDA. The rumor played out like a parable about how clout has to clear the house, not the driveway. Consider The Ark, a move to California, a blockbuster Netflix docuseries with Prince Harry that dominated streaming conversations, a high-profile interview era that put names like Oprah Winfrey in the frame, and a podcast chapter that delivered high awareness even as industry winds shifted. Then came the lifestyle branding phase, soft launch teases, social reveals, trademark chatter, product speculation. It's a modern celebrity ladder. Secure distribution, secure narrative, then secure a consumer lane. The ambition isn't unusual. What makes the execution tricky is that Meghan's brand promises both discretion and revelation. She wants to be a storyteller who processes personal experience on her terms, and a builder who launches tangible products. The more precise the brand becomes, the more carefully she has to choose collaborators who won't bend that precision out of shape. A rumor at a gate quickly morphs into a spreadsheet of who's in and who's out. online chatter has floated names like Oprah Winfrey, Ellen DeGeneres, and Tyler Perry as former allies now supposedly at arm's length. None of that is confirmed on the record here, and it's important to say that clearly. But the reason those names surface in conversation is because they define tiers of Hollywood viability. Oprah as a validator of narrative depth, Ellen as a mainstream visibility jetstream, Tyler as a sheltering backer who wraps story and infrastructure around his people. Even unverified, lists like that capture a broader mood. That proximity, once abundant, might now be rationed. It's not about scandal in the classic sense. It's about bandwidth and brand safety. If the town reads Meghan as high maintenance or heavily image managed, fairly or not, some gatekeepers will default to polite pass. And when a pass happens quietly, you don't see the door close. You just never see it open. The Kardashian-Jenner ecosystem is built to metabolize attention. They get the cycles, bend them, and sell through them. For Kris, the question isn't whether Meghan is famous, it's whether Meghan plus Kardashian yields more than Kardashian alone. That's a high bar. The family's in-house cast already drives numbers across Hulu, Instagram, and every retail counter that stockpiles their SKUs. Add Kim's law school era, Khloe's mom mode endurance, Kourtney's lifestyle matrix, Kendall's fashion engine, and Kylie's product machine, there's no shortage of plot. So if Meghan arrives with a fully armored PR stance and a preference for editorial control, it's easy to see why Kris would pass, unless there's a perfect, mutually beneficial angle. Reality TV Rule 1 is ruthless. If it doesn't convert to episodes, arcs, or product, it's a photo op with extra steps.
Prince Harry's presence complicates the optics.
He isn't just a husband, he's a brand with gravitational pull, military service, charity work, mental health advocacy, and a history that binds his name to institutions he can't fully exit. In the US, that weight creates curiosity and caution at the same time. Pair him with a partner perceived as strategic, and the speculation multiplies. Is this collaboration about story or leverage? When insiders, again speaking broadly about the industry, say a room went quiet when Meghan's projects came up, what they're describing isn't fear, it's arithmetic. If the partnership isn't clean, if the cameo feels transactional, if the camera has to ask permission twice, some rooms stop calling. That doesn't mean doors are locked. It means everything moves slower, and in this town, slow is the same as no.
Every talk format or docu-hybrid needs guests who are either bigger than the host, more surprising than the concept,
Or so aligned with the theme that saying yes feels inevitable. If a rumor of Kardashian-level rejection plants the idea that the biggest fish passed, booking gets harder. Nobody wants to be the consolation cameo. That's the bind. If the show's next season, whatever shape it takes, needs A-list drop-ins to level up, it's competing for a finite habit. Celebrities lending their image to someone else's narrative. This is where strategic curation could save the day. Look for names that match Meghan's advocacy lanes. People who value controlled conversations and cause forward framing. Think authors with cultural momentum, founders who can talk brand craft, creators who appreciate careful storytelling. If the target is Kris Jenner's table, the matchup feels awkward. If the target is a curated salon with depth, the alignment improves. Even if the Hidden Hills story remains unverified, not on the list has already become a shorthand in comment sections. It encapsulates the feeling that a person with immense profile still has to measure up to a higher gate. It's the anti-royal moment, where ceremonial access gives way to RSVP codes and last-minute texts that never come. And that reverses the old social logic. Here, reality TV royalty can overrule actual royal adjacency. No tiara required. That's why the rumor kept spinning. It tidifies an industry truth into a punchline. It says, LA isn't impressed by crowns, it's impressed by conversion. If a cameo can't be chopped into a teaser, clipped for a trailer, and baked into a drop that sells out by Friday, the list stays short. Meghan's brand delivers many things. Plug-and-play reality TV hasn't been one of them. Meghan's most loyal fans admire the control. They see a woman protecting her voice in spaces that once silenced it. Industry operators, though, flag the friction. Controlled processes can be slow, notes heavy, and rigid. Now overlay Kris Jenner's appetite for agile shooting, improvisational beats, and multi-camera chaos, and you can imagine the production notes getting long. That's not a moral judgment, it's a workflow problem. Hollywood is a factory as much as a stage. When rumors say high maintenance, what they often mean is high specificity. When they say image obsessed, they mean brand guardrails. Those can be assets in the right format. In the wrong one, they look like sandbags against spontaneity. If you're producing reality-adjacent content, you either build a system around that control, or you accept the scenes you get.
Road 1. Double down on the curated format. Pick conversations that won't be cut to threads by out-of-context clips. Book guests who love the guardrails. Build a season that rewards patience. And ignore the rooms that prefer chaos. Road 2. Embrace a calculated looseness. Pick a few partners who know how to shoot fast and edit faster. Sacrifice some control to gain surprise. Accept the risk of awkward moments to gain the reward of genuinely viral ones. Neither road requires Kardashian cosigns, but both require a choice. The muddle, the halfway point between carefully staged and fully open, creates the impression that the doors are half closing, and impressions calcify here. If the rumor felt like a door slam, the solution is a door you open yourself. And a guest list you own. Hollywood is in a contraction phase. Budgets are tighter, brand partnerships are more selective, and the content supply chain is flooded with near-famous faces. In that world, a name like Meghan Markle still commands attention. The question is what you do with it. That's why even speculative talk of distance from Oprah Winfrey, Ellen DeGeneres, or Tyler Perry carries weight online. Those names symbolize very different types of institutional support. Again, on-the-record confirmations aren't in hand here, but the chatter mirrors a real dynamic. Alliances need to be renewed, not just referenced. Meanwhile, the Kardashian machine keeps humming because it's vertically integrated. They shoot content that sells product, that funds content that produces more plot. If you want to collide with that machine, you need an angle that can't be duplicated in-house. Royal intrigue alone won't cut it anymore. It has to be a storyline they can't produce without you. If Meghan really did arrive at a gate that wasn't expecting her, it wouldn't be the first time a famous person misread a private event's temperature. If she didn't, the rumor still shows how quickly a narrative can cement, especially for polarizing figures. Either way, the lesson the town will take is identical. Don't test a fortress by surprise. Pre-clear everything, or don't bother. In the Kardashian jurisdiction, access is a pre-approved deliverable, not a vibe check in a driveway. And yes, Prince Harry is part of that math. If a scene gets awkward at a gate, the headline writes itself, and the collateral hits both of them. The safest play is predictability. The strongest play is leverage you don't have to ask for. A strong recovery arc would start with a platform Meghan fully controls. Her channels, her rollouts, her editorial, teasers that promise substance and deliver on it. Guests who look handpicked for content, rather than clout. Topics where she can be candid without triggering a fire alarm. Brand building, philanthropy mechanics, culture and media literacy. Those lanes convert with audiences who want values matched with execution, not drama stacked on rumor. At the same time, one or two counterintuitive collaborations could reset the mood. Not the most obvious A-listers, but names that say this is about the work, not the aura. Done well, that swap changes the conversation from who shut the door to who showed up because the content was worth it. Hollywood never forgets a clean narrative. Not on the list is the kind of line that can trail a person until they replace it with a stronger one. But it's also malleable. If Meghan launches a project that makes a bigger noise than a rumored driveway moment, the driveway moment gets filed under old tea. That's the trick. In an attention economy, the loudest recent thing overwrites the last thing. For the Kardashian-Jenner side, nothing changes. Kris Jenner will keep building plots that print money. If there's ever a perfect episode where their story and Meghan's overlap, it will happen on Kris's terms. At Kris's table with Kris's cameras. That's not shade, that's precedent. Right now, the Hidden Hills rumor functions like a Rorschach test. If you're anti-Meghan, it reads as proof that Hollywood saw through her. If you're pro-Meghan, it reads as another contrived pile-on. If you're Kris Jenner, it reads as free advertising for a brand that already owns the narrative. For everyone else, it's a reminder that access is a language, and the accent changes house to house. No moral of the story, no lesson about life, just the mechanics. Rumor meets brand, brand meets gate, gate meets list. If that driveway moment happened, it was one door on one day. If it didn't, The fact we can all picture it tells you everything about how this town really works. And in Hollywood, that's the only confirmation anyone needs.